Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All go to Srila Prabhupada. Welcome devotees to today's class. Today we'll be discussing from Chaitanya Charitamrita, the Lila chapter 7, verse 34. The chapter is entitled Lord Chaitanya and Five Features. We are in the part of the chapter where Lord Chaitanya decides to take sannyas to save the fallen conditioned souls, especially to for the sake of the Mayavadi philosophers, because they just got everything mixed up, pretty much. And so, we're getting into Lord Chaitanya's mercy, and we're very happy to have His Holiness Candramauli Swami with us. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to you and Srila Prabhupada Maharaj.
So according to you, the Mayavadis are mixed up, right?
They got it all mixed up, Maharaj. Marsh, can you put your screen a little bit low so we can see your complete face? Whenever you're ready, Maharaj. We can only see your hands, Maharaj. Oh, wow. Perfect, Marge. Thank you. Thank you, Marge. And it's all yours.
I'll share it with you. Okay. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Ghora Bhakta Vrindan Chambi Se Vistara Chila Grihasta Ashrame Pancha Vishati Vimsati Varshe Kalayate Dharme. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu remained in household life for 24 years, and on the verge of his 25th year, he accepted the sannyas order. Life, namely Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyas. In each of these ashramas, there are 4 divisions. The divisions of Brahmacharya ashram are Sadviktriya, Prajapatya, Brahma, and Brihat. And the divisions of Grihastha ashram are Varta, professionals, Sanchaya, accumulators, Salina, those who do not ask anything from anyone, and Silochana, those who collect grains from the paddy fields. Similarly, the divisions of Vanashram ashram are Vaikanasa, Valakila, Adambura, and Fainapa. And the divisions of sannyas are Kutichak, Bahuda, Kamsa, and Niskriya. There are 2 kinds of sannyasis who are called Dhiras and Narottams, as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st canto, 13th chapter, verses 26 and 27. At the end of the month of Jan, in the year 1432 Sakabda, which corresponds with 1510 AD, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted a sannyas from Keshava Bharti, who belonged to the Sankara Sampradaya. Om Gyan Timidandasya Gyana Jana Salakaya Chaksa Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaudavani Pacharine Nirvisesa Sunyavari Pastyatya De Satarine Vanchakalpatarubhischa Kripa Sindhupe Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare. Sri David, I just remembered I have to ask you something, so remind me before you leave here.
Yes.
Okay. So here we're hearing about the different ashrams and the categories within the ashrams. And there are different types of activities which stimulates that connect with the different classifications within the different ashrams. So it's not just Grihastha Brahmacharya. There are four divisions in each of the four ashrams. So there's actually 16 divisions. And the sannyas ashram is Kutichak, Bahudak, Hamsa, and Niskriya. Kutichak means that one takes sannyas but still lives within the village of where they are and preaches there. Bahudak means they do not depend on any particular resident in the building, in the village, and they make their own residency in the village. They break from their family. Hamsa really is Paramahansa, it's the highest, and this Kriya means those who travel and preach, they're Parajakacharyas. And then there's Hamsa. Hamsa is the Paramahansa stage, where they sit down in one place and do their bhajan. So, and then of course, the two kinds are the Dhiras and the Narottams. The Dhiras don't preach, the Narottams preach. Of course, Lord Chaitanya took sannyas in the Sankara Sampradaya, which is a Mayavadi order, because at that particular time, the Mayavadis were quite prominent throughout that area and throughout India also. And therefore, in order to establish himself as a sannyasi and to be able to reach and preach to the sannyasis, which you'll see as this chapter continues, he accepted the sannyas order from Keshava Bharti, where they have Ekadanda. The Vaishnav sannyasis, they have what we say Tridanda. Tridanda means body, mind, and words. And the stick denotes life. So there's four aspects: body, mind, and words, and life in the service of the Lord. And the Mayavadis have Ekadanda, which means, I don't know, really, but I think it means that um, they believe in the oneness of everything. So everything is one. Everything is non-different than everything else. Anyway, so Lord Chaitanya did this as a strategy. He is Krishna himself. He doesn't have to take any ashram, but for the sake of spreading Krishna consciousness, he appears in the world as a devotee of the Lord and accepts a particular category in order to preach Krishna consciousness. In those days, and even today, we find that anyone who has the sannyas order is very much accepted and very much revered within the culture and society of India, even today. Even if he's the rascal number one, he's still, if he's dressed as a sannyasi, he gets respect. So, and some when we say first class rascals, they do that in order to get something to eat. With those who don't want to work, they dress up as sannyasis and then appear in the village, and then they get invited to people's house. And then they get some ashibad, they smile at everybody, and they hold their arms up in the air and say, "We bless you that your family will all become rich and prosperous." Hare Krishna. Don't leave, I have something to complain about. Okay, so Lord Chaitanya was very strategic, and he went to a place called Katwa to take sannyas, and he had beautiful, long, blackish, curly hair. First, he's Krishna, so his hair was just so attractive. It was black, but it had a bluish tinge to it. It was so beautiful, cascading down his shoulders like that. So when it was time to shave up, you can see ever. As people were watching, they were rolling on the ground, they were crying, they were smashing their fist on the ground, and they were beating their heads. They couldn't believe that this beautiful young man was now taking the sannyas order of life. He's so beautiful and he's so young because generally to take sannyas, usually you would be over 50 years old before you accepted that order. And Lord Chaitanya kind of gave the standard that, you know, even those who are young can also do that. And Prabhupada followed that standard. And Prabhupada was criticized for giving sannyas to young men. Usually they go through brahmachari and then sometimes grihastha ashram. And then they finish all of their material attachments and then they take the sannyas order of life. But Prabhupada wanted sannyasis to preach Krishna consciousness, and he knew he didn't have very much time. So he kind of adjusted that principle and gave sannyas to very young people, people who were quite young, um, in their 20s. There was even one boy who was 19 when he took sannyas like that. I took sannyas when I was 38, and some much later than that also. So yeah, and so but Prabhupada did it in order to spread Krishna consciousness, although he knew some of his sannyasis weren't up to the standard, but he said if you stay fixed in chanting the holy names of the Lord and follow the principles of sannyas, and you can come to the point of being dhira, I mean undisturbed in all situations, undisturbed by material attractions. And when that hair cutting ceremony was on, they couldn't get anyone to do the hair cutting for Lord Chaitanya. Nobody wanted to do it. Finally, the barber who was there, who was asked to do it, he finally, after being encouraged by Lord Chaitanya just preached to him and didn't let him say no. Finally, he did it. But as he was doing it, he was crying. He couldn't even cut the hair properly. He was just crying too much. It was too much. There was one person who was the father of, he wasn't the father at that time, but later he became the father of Srinivas Acharya. He came from Jajigram to come to Katwa. When he happened to come to Katwa, he saw this ceremony go on and he got curious. And he was watching it. And of course, that barber later, he retired from doing any hair cutting and he became a sweet maker after that. From barber to sweet maker. So he felt that this was the finale of his career in hair cutting. And you can see, you'll see there's paintings, um, even in ISKCON, but most of it's in the Gaudiya Math temples where the ceremony is going on and people are just besides themselves in anguish watching Lord Chaitanya take sannyas. But Lord Chaitanya was fixed. And then he accepted Keshava Bharati as his spiritual master, and he gave him the name Sri Krishna Chaitanya, like that. Chaitanya means immortal force, like that. Sri Krishna Chaitanya. This future father of Srinivas, he came. He was watching the ceremony, and after he heard the name given to Lord Chaitanya as Chaitanya, his name was Nimai Pandit before then, he went mad. And he kept saying Chaitanya, 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 Chaitanya. He couldn't stop saying Chaitanya. When he came home, he, you know, he was just chanting the names of Chaitanya. He chanted the name of Chaitanya continuously. So his villagers gave him the name Chaitanya Das because he couldn't stop chanting. Him and his wife had no children, and they had no plans to have children. So, but after when he came back from seeing Lord Chaitanya, him and his wife both went to sleep one night and they had the same dream. And both of them dreamt that they now should conceive a child. They had the exact same dream, and then they shared their dream with each other when they woke up. And then they produced one boy. His name was Srinivasacharya, he was one of the, what we say, personalities that kept Lord Chaitanya's message going after Lord Chaitanya had left the planet. Lord Chaitanya left the planet in 1534, and this was 15 AD when he took sannyas. So he was sannyas for 24 years, like that. And then but there are many, many other reasons why he took sannyas. Some of them are Gupta. That means hidden. Some of them are called the internal reasons why he took sannyas, which is um, due to the curse of the gopis. When Krishna was leaving Vrindavan, he pretty much destroyed the hearts of the gopis. They were besides themselves and separation from him, and they wanted to commit suicide. You can read about it now, how Srimati Radharani, she was so far beyond herself, feeling so much anguish. She wanted to end her life, but what kept her from doing that was Lord Krishna said, I will return. But he didn't return for over 100 years. And it was at one point that the gopis, actually, they all drowned themselves in the Jamuna, all the gopis, but they reappeared as the queens of Dwarka and associated with Krishna as queens in Dwarka, just so they could have his association. But they still remained in their gopi bodies, but they expanded themselves after they left their bodies to become the queen so they could associate with Krishna. But it wasn't the same. Radharani became Satyabhama, and Chandravauli became Rukmini, and many of the prominent gopis became some of the prominent, and so they are actually in Parakya Ras. So, and then after Lord Chaitanya had taken sannyas, there's a story when Lord Chaitanya was in the house of Srivas Thakurdas when he was Nimai Pandit. He had already planned to take the sannyas order, but he never told anybody about it. So one night, when Lord Chaitanya appeared in the house of Srivas, as every night they were having their kirtan, And then this was more of a private meeting, but some of the intimate associates of Lord Chaitanya. And Lord Chaitanya would go into ecstasy in his dancing, and only a very few people could come to that particular gathering because of the intimacy of Lord Chaitanya's ecstasies. So one night when Lord Chaitanya began his dancing, there was in the house of Srivas, in another part of the house, Srivas's younger son, who was only a 4-year-old boy, came down with a terminal disease. And then at one point during that kirtan, the boy left the body. The ladies of the house were wailing and crying, and Srivas got a little disturbed. He said to them, "Why are you crying? You're disturbing Lord Chaitanya's kirtan." They said, "Well, your son has died." And he said, "That's all right, but don't cry so loudly." Because his main thing was not to disturb Lord Chaitanya. So the kirtan went on, and the boy was in the room. And then after 7.5 hours, Lord Chaitanya stopped his dancing and said to Srivas, "Srivas, is there some calamity happened in your house? I feel like there is." And Srivas said, "My dear Lord, when you're here, how could it be any calamity? But since you asked, my son, he died." "Oh, really? When?" "About 7.5 hours ago." "Why didn't you tell me?" "Where is he?" So Lord Chaitanya came with Srivas to go see the boy. The boy was laying on the bed. The relatives were still there, feeling separation, crying. So Lord Chaitanya walked over to the boy, put his hand on his chest, and he said, "My dear son of Srivas, where have you gone?" And the boy sat up. He looked around and he said, "Oh, my dear Lord, by your will, I am taking birth in this family, and by your will, I'm going on to my next destination." And then he laid down and died again. So when everyone heard the eternal principle of we are not this body, they saw it in the form of this boy who understood it also. Lord Chaitanya was so grateful for Srivas, how he didn't disturb Lord Chaitanya, even though there was causes to disturb him. He said, Srivas, you are so very dear to me. How could I ever leave you? How could I ever leave you?" So when he was saying that, people were thinking, what is he saying? How could he ever leave? But that was the first sign he gave that he was going to take sannyas in the form of that statement. Nobody understood. A little while later, when Lord Chaitanya was walking down by the banks of the Ganges, there was one Brahmana who wanted to come in and see Lord Chaitanya's dance and be part of the program. But many people were not allowed. And the people who were not allowed, they were criticizing, saying, "Oh, they're doing all kinds of tantric things with ladies and they don't want us to come in. We know they are, we're good people." So they were making up all stories. But as one Brahma, he was quite angry for not being allowed in. So he was sitting there. When he saw Lord Chaitanya, he took out his Brahman thread and snapped it. And he said, he first he said to Lord Chaitanya, "I wanted to come in and you wouldn't let me in. I'm a respectable Brahmana. Therefore, I curse you." So he snapped his Brahman thread and he said, "I curse you. You will never enjoy material happiness." And Lord Chaitanya started dancing. He said, "Thank you very much." And that was the second thing. That was the indication that he was going to eventually leave uh, his present situation and actually take sannyas. And there were other what we say Gupta statements, statements that were quite vague to people that Lord Chaitanya gave. But finally, one night, in the middle of the night, he left his wife and mother, got up from the bed. His mother was already awake. She greeted him at the door. He looked at his mother and he just smiled and he kept going. And his mother was like a statue. She couldn't move. She was frozen in her place. And then he went on. But he didn't go, he was going to Jagannath Puri. But before he went to Jagannath Puri, as he was going, his mother, um, she was such in distress that her only son was leaving. Her first son had already left. Vishwarup, he had taken sannyas many years before. Now, Nimai, Lord Chaitanya, was the only other son left. Her husband had already died. She was a widow, and all she had was Lord Chaitanya. Now he's leaving. So she was feeling really unhappy and at the same time unprotected. So um, then he went to the house of Advaitacharya in Shantipur and stayed there. When the devotees found out, they gathered together. And of course, when they first heard uh, that Lord Chaitanya had left to take sannyas, Advaitacharya and all of his associates there, who were also associates of Lord Chaitanya, they were besides himself in anguish. He only told 5 people that he was going to take sannyas. And Advaitacharya was not one of them. But then Advaitacharya, when he got the news, he said, I can't bear this news. I'm gonna drown myself in the Ganges. And everybody else said, we're coming with you. But then a voice came from the sky, be patient, be patient, you will meet him again, be patient. So they took that omen. And then after some time, Lord Chaitanya, we see how when he went bathing in the Ganges River, where the Ganges and the Jamuna and the Saraswati meet, it's called Triveni. 3 rivers are meeting in one place. Lord Chaitanya was bathing, and then Advaita um, was there along with Nityananda, and Advaita came with a boat to bring some dry clothes to Lord Chaitanya. So when Lord Chaitanya saw Advaita, Lord Lord Chaitanya was bathing in the Jamuna side, and then there was the Ganges side. They met. The Saraswati was flowing underground, and um, Lord Advaita said, "Get into the boat." Lord Chaitanya said, "Advaita, how did you get to Vrindavan?" He said, "This is not Vrindavan. This is Shantipur." He said, "This." Lord Chaitanya said, "This is the Jamuna." He said, "Yes, but you're bathing on the Ganges side." So then Lord Chaitanya got into the boat and he took him home. And then Lord Chaitanya agreed to stay in the house of Advaitacharya for 1 month. And every month the Lord would speak during the day pastimes of Krishna with his associates. And at night they would have 3 to 4 hour kirtans. Srila Prabhupada also writes within that same pastime that um, we should also follow that principle that every night in every temple within our society, there should be 3 hours of kirtan. You got that one? Every night. In every temple, 3 hours of kirtan. Anasuya, you still there?
Yes, Marge.
Yeah, go to Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 3, verse 203, and Madhya Lila, chapter 3, 203.
Into verse.
203. Okay. Sachinananda
Oh, wait,
Bhagavat
I went to 204, March. Give me 1 second. There we
203.
go. Yes.
Acharya. No. Okay. Give me the translation
Okay,
again.
there you
I'm
go,
sorry.
March.
Give me the Bengali again.
The Bengali right here, March.
Acharya Strata Bhakti Griha Sampradana Dani Sakala Sapale Hoila Prabhure Aradane. Translation. In this way, all of the opulences of Advaita Charya, his faith, devotion, home, riches, and everything else were successfully utilized in the worship of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So if you could read Anasuya purport.
Yes, March. Advaitacharya set an ideal example for all householder devotees in his reception of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotees and in his execution of a daily festival at his home. If one has the proper means and wealth, he should occasionally invite the devotees of Lord Chaitanya who are engaged in preaching all over the world and hold a festival at home simply by distributing prasadam and talking about Krishna during the day and holding congregational chanting for at least 3 hours in the evening. This procedure must be adopted in all centers of the Krishna consciousness movement. Thus, they will
No.
daily perform. Shall I go on, Maharaj?
Well, that's the end. This procedure must be adopted, must, in all centers of the Krishna conscious movement. Okay, we're in Ujjain. They're doing it here. They have at least 2 to 3 hours of kirtan every night. But most of our temples around the world don't do it. Lord
So true.
Chaitanya but put it in his books. When you read it in his books, it's an inviolable statement. It's not something optional. Again, continue with the rest of the purport.
Thus, they will daily perform Sankirtan Yagna in Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.32. The daily performance of Sankirtan Yagna is recommended for this age. Yagne Sankirtana Prayer Yajanti Hi Medasha. One should worship Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his four associates, the Panchatattva, by distributing prasadam and holding congregational chanting. Indeed, that yagna or sacrifice is most recommended in this age of Kali. In this age, other yagnas are not possible to perform, but this yagna can be performed everywhere and anywhere without difficulty.
Yeah, it's the most powerful effect. Having kirtan every night and throughout the day, talking about Krishna. So you should start doing that in your temple on the Suya. Haribo.
Yes, Maharaj, I will implement and can speak. I will implement that, Maharaj, and ask for your blessings to help me be successful, Maharaj.
You do it. You'll get the blessings of Prabhupada, Lord Chaitanya, the Parampara, and everyone else who understands the value of such activities.
So
Okay.
beautifully said.
Yeah. So, where was I in the narration? Oh, yeah, I was describing how Lord Chaitanya then came to the house of Advaita, as it mentions here. And then his mother, she heard that he was there, so she went to see him along with many of the residents of Navadvip. And then he welcomed his mother, and she wanted to cook for him. So he allowed her to cook, and she was cooking every night for him, prasadam. And then she made a plea. She said, "My dear son, if you go to Vrindavan, we will never see you again. So please go to Jagannath Puri instead, and that way we will at least have a chance to see you every year." And then the Lord agreed, because he was on his way to Vrindavan to take sannyas. But eventually, on the request of his mother, to please his mother, he actually opted for Jagannath Puri. And there he stayed there for 18 years, actually 20, in six of those, no, 24 years, 6 of those years he traveled outside and traveled all over India, spreading the glories of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. But this is, and then of course, the rest of it is his activities in sannyas, and that's, you'll see that as this chapter goes on, how he very intelligently, with great understanding, attracted the Mayavadis to him by doing kirtan, knowing they would criticize. And then he took that opportunity because he was in the Mayavadi Sampradaya also. He was the Bharati Sampradaya. There are 10 Mayavadi Sampradayas, Saraswati, Bharati, Ashrama. There are different names of the sannyasis for the different mats like that. And it's interesting as this chapter goes on, you'll see how Lord Chaitanya very humbly, but very much focused on his goal, converted the 60,000 Mayavadis to become Vaishnavas. 60,000. Mhm. Okay, so this is a little bit about this verse about um, Lord Chaitanya taking sannyas.
Thank you, Maharaj. I'm going to go back to that verse and I'm going to request devotees. Actually, I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to request devotees if you can please turn on your cameras wherever possible. If you have any questions, any clarification, please do unmute yourself. You can raise your hand so I can call you in order, or you can put it in the chat and I'll be happy to read it. Marge, as you were speaking earlier in the class about the gopis drowning themselves because of separation from Krishna, and then they later appeared as one of the many wives in Dwarka. March, did they physically leave or like how? I'm just trying to understand pastime.
It just mentioned they all walked into the Ganges and that was it.
Wow.
It disappeared. You read it in Shiva Ram Maharaj's narration, what he's getting from the works of the Goswamis. I can't remember what text he took it from, but in his series of, called the Vrindavan series, he mentions that.
Wow. It's amazing. Amazing, Marge. And okay, so Marge, is that in one of the parts with the Venu Gita series? I think there's one of those books. Okay. I have one of those books. Okay. I was just wondering. I didn't get to that part of the book.
The 6 books.
Amazing.
There's actually 8 books out. The first 6 deal with the activities of Krishna in Vrindavan.
Mm.
Napareham is one. Venu Gita is another one. Um, Bhakti, what is that? Bhakti, Sudha Bhakti Chintamani.
Mm.
These are the 3 of the 6 in sequence there. Can't remember all of the names.
Thank you, Marge. I'll definitely refer to those books. I have two of the names that you mentioned. I'll check the other one.
I suggest you get all the books and read them.
Yes, Shivaram Swami's books. I wish that they were easily available in the US. It's so limited, but I'm going to try to see if I can find that. That'll be because he's an amazing writer and author. Amazing.
One lady here, she reads a lot. I'm in Ujjain. She reads all the time, and she's so philosophical. She wanted more. She asked me, "Where can I go find?" I've read practically everything. I want something more. So I suggested Shiva Ram Maharaj's books. So she ordered all of the books.
Wow.
And she's been reading. And then after about a year, she saw me again and she said, "Oh, thank you." She was really happy and inspired by going deeper into Krishna's pastimes in a way that keeps the philosophical teachings in line, connects the teachings theories. And then there's
The connection in Ujjain now, it's a little bit choppy, Marge. We're trying to finish, I mean, trying to hear your next sentence. Oops, did Marge froze?
I stopped speaking when I saw that statement.
Oh, okay, Marge. Thank you, Marge. We didn't want to miss out the nectar that you were sharing, and I'm just waiting for the next sentence. Oops. Oh, Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda. Okay, I guess we have to wait for Marge to come back because I wanted to ask Marge Rishabhadas Prabhu's question. We'll patiently wait for Marge to join. Oh, there is Marge. Haribol, Marge.
Hallelujah. So open it up for discussion now.
Yes, Marge. Marge, there is a question here from Rishabha Prabhu, and he said, Hare Krishna, dear Gurudev, and Vaishnavas, please accept my humble obeisances, all Krishna Shri Prabhupada. Regarding having 3 hours of kirtan every day, it is best and only means in this age for the total benefit of the whole world and the participants of the yajna. Is it necessary, Gurudev, to have certain level of purity and devotion to be able to perform such yajna for so long and not to become mechanical? It seems to me often such long sessions daily turn into performance there an offering of devotion, which means we are on high levels of devotional service at least. If you can consider it proper to clarify for me.
That doesn't mean it's going to go like that. That's a deviation in consciousness. You come together to do kirtan to glorify the Lord and to experience the pleasure of chanting and dancing. And that's the pleasure. It's not about any kind of material gain. It's no kirtan goes on all the time because some persons might be less pure in their intentions. It doesn't mean we should stop kirtan. They hopefully they will become purified if we keep the atmosphere. What is the mood? The mood is to glorify the Lord. That's the mood.
That was a nice question, Rishabha Prabhu. I know what you mean, but kirtan, yes, Mars, thank you. Kirtan can purify us to get into right consciousness. Amazing.
If the temples want to be successful in their preaching, all they have to do is adopt the Prabhupada's program. And in due course of time, your temples will start filling up again. But they won't do it for whatever reason. Guaranteed. You start doing kirtan every night with whatever devotees you have, you'll attract people because that'll please Lord Chaitanya, and Lord Chaitanya will send people. And after a while, your temples will start filling up again. It's a fact.
Marge, a follow-up question from Rishabha Prabhu. I'm sorry, Marge.
Wherever there's kirtan, there's success. When we just relegate kirtan to the morning program for about 20 minutes in the morning for arti and 10 minutes in the morning for Guru Puja, You think that's not going to please Lord Chaitanya.
No.
It has to go on. Prabhupada said our temples are educational centers, not places of worship only. That's secondary. We're trying to educate the world's population by teaching them the science of bhakti. So Prabhupada said throughout the day, have classes. In the evening, have kirtan. We do that.
Thank you,
Whatever's
Marge.
being done, whatever's being done, success.
Marge, Brishaba Prabhu has a follow-up question, and that is, then I'll go to Jayarada Madan Mohan. He asked, does that mean that one who is organizing the kirtans need to have a higher consciousness of what kirtan is to correct that the kirtans don't go away from the standard?
I don't know why he's asking these questions. It doesn't make sense. Get up here. When you get into kirtan, you forget about this and that and this and that. You just get into kirtan.
We just start dancing like avaduts, right, Maharaj?
Yeah. As they say in English parlance, we're cutting the rug.
We just go with the flow, Maharaj.
We just do kirtan. When you start
Yes,
thinking you got to have a pure organizer, just do kirtan. Kirtan
I
itself
agree. Yep.
purifies the atmosphere. That's all.
Just make it happen.
That's all.
Thank you, Marge. Jai Radha Madhan Mohan, you're now next. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances unto your lotus feet. Guru Maharaj, my question is like it makes me confused sometimes when I'm alone. I wanted to know like should I chant more or should I do kirtan? Like what should be the best option?
He asks when he's alone, should he chant more on japa or should he do kirtan? The answer is yes.
Like if I'm feeling to do kirtan, then I can do kirtan or else chant my rounds.
The answer is yes.
Okay.
Maharaj, wherever the heart leads us to do, we do chant or kirtan. Both. Thank you. Sridevi, you're up next.
Okay, you're on, Sridevi.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj, Lord Chaitanya took up sannyas because in those times, sannyas was respected so much. And therefore, he knew that all walks of life would offer respects and therefore begin their devotional life. But in today's day and age, as you pointed out, there are so many fake, in fact, the fake outnumber the bona fide. There are so many people exploiting the orange color. And in India, especially, you have God men, God women also now doing all kinds of, mantra chanting and seances and trances and holding all kinds of bizarre gatherings. So, how we can establish the purity of these teachings, even in the face of all this orange brigade?
We're doing it. We're following Lord Chaitanya's process. Just because the fakes are going on doesn't mean we should do something different. Prabhupada exposed the fakes many times in his lectures, saying that they do it for money. They chant various other types of the names of the demigods. They do Shiva Kirtan. They do Kali Kirtan, they do Durga Kirtan. So he wrote about it, he spoke about it, and to show us what is not Kirtan. So we just go on, we do Krishna Kirtan.
Thank you.
Okay, did you get that, Anastasia?
Yes, Matt, someone wanted to ask a follow-up question, so I don't know who, but please go ahead.
Jayaraj?
Yes, go ahead, Prabhu. Go ahead.
Mohan, I think it was.
Hare Krishna Maharaj ji, Danut Pranam.
Oh, he changed complexion.
He changed his personification. Yeah, Marge, he switched.
He's just proving he's got mystic power. He's just
That must be the power in Ujjain, Marge. They can switch mystically.
yeah. You got it.
I would like to learn that art, Maharaj. Will probably help me in my service.
Come to Ujjain. Money on the
Go ahead, Prabhu, ask your question.
Yes. So on the question of sannyas, on the different perspective, from the perspective of the grahast, we see less people are actually taking sannyas up.
From the perspective of sannyas, less people are taking sannyas.
No, on the perspective of grahast, so grahast are also recommended they should move to sannyas after certain age.
What's the question?
Grahastha have to move to sannyas ashram after some certain age.
That's what's recommended in the Vedas. That you don't stay in Grihastha ashram to the end of life. The idea is to go from stage to stage where you become completely detached from everything material that prepares you for leaving the world. You stay in the Grihastha ashram and then you die in the family. You're guaranteed to get another birth. You're still surrounded by people you're attached to. And the idea is to break that attachment gradually through different stages. So the Vanaprastha ashram is there to separate from the wife, and then gradually the wife goes to a holy place and worships the deity and stays there until she leaves the body. And the husband, after some time, will go out and preach. And then he'll perfect his life, and then he'll go back home, back to Godhead. The Vedic system is a gradual step-by-step progression from one stage of life to another, ultimately to complete renunciation.
I have another question, Guru.
Go ahead, Sri Devi.
Okay. So, Guru Maharaj, these 4 stages of Vanaprastha ashram which have been described over here, I have never heard that before. About sannyas, I had heard Bahudaka, Kutichaka, Parivrajya, Kacharya, Paramahansa, and so on. So, these 4 stages of Vanaprastha ashram, where can I read more in detail to understand it better?
You have to do a little research. She wants to know about the 4 stages of Vanaprastha. She's already a sannyasi. She wants to go back to that.
I was even asking that. Yeah, I had that same question too, actually, Sri Devi.
She wants to see if she didn't miss any of the stages.
It's a check and balance for us, right, Sri Devi? Make sure we're on the right track.
Guru Maharaj loves to tease me to death.
You've been teasing me since I known you.
Since Gita Nagari, 1990, what, 2000, 2001? I don't remember.
Girls will get the wrong impression. I'll cut them forever if they hear all this.
No, they always have the right impression. So, I don't know, Prabhupada never spoke about it. I would suggest you go to the 7th canto, the later part of the 7th canto, when it talks about the different ashrams. The Vanaprastha ashram, the sannyasa ashram, brahmachari ashram, Grihastha ashram, there's those chapters in chapter 11, 12, 13, 14, I think in the 7th canto. I think you could start your research there. But you might have to go to other material to get the actual details. But anyway, what is the use of finding out anyway? There's a lot of things you could know that'll be more beneficial.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Whatever you say.
That's the
Say that when you're defeated.
that's the subtle teasing Leela.
Nothing subtle about it.
Hare Krishna, Sri Devi. Marge, I'm sorry, Marge, go ahead.
I'm going to send Sri Devi over to your place. She can manage the evening kirtan every night.
Maharaj, you know what, Maharaj? That would probably solve a lot of my 50% of my problems. Then I don't have to crack my head. I can save. Yes, you can play Bhakti Tirtha Swami's Kirtan and dance for 3 hours. Oh my God, Krishna, that would be great. Anyway, yes. You could be dreaming.
It's just a matter of time before she gets there.
Yes, Maharaj. She must be thinking, why did I ask this question?
I'm going to check my travel agent tomorrow for tickets.
I would love to be tomorrow. Ready?
She's ready.
Oh boy.
That's my real treatment.
The last time.
Well, she's getting everyone fired up. There's going to be a few people coming.
No problem, Marge. That will help me in my service because right now I feel like an one octopus times 10. So a little more hands will help, Marge.
Well, there are many personalities who have a lot of arms. Vajrakali had 16 arms.
Marge, I have a question, Marge, is when you were in the purport, Prabhupada was saying that Lord Chaitanya took sannyas from a different sampradaya. And of course, that doesn't mean that we should do the same because that at the time that was the situation, and that he had to do that. In today's times, Maharaj, I find that devotees sometimes struggle where they are within ISKCON, but they cannot leave or separate themselves from other sampradayas. There's this one foot here and one foot there. How can we develop the mood of chastity, Maharaj, within one sampradaya that we are in?
We have to really propagate Srila Prabhupada's books. Of course, his teachings in general, but specifically his books. That everything you want to know about the science of bhakti has been talked about and discussed by Srila Prabhupada. Bhakti Charu Swami became really concerned when he saw devotees making statements of knowledge. So he began a series of lectures to show that everything is there in Prabhupada's books. And it's a fact. You just have to be a little bit, what we say, scrutinizingly going through the books, going through his lectures, his conversation. Prabhupada gave everything. Sometimes not what we say in an extensive way, but he gave everything everything you can be fully Krishna conscious in ISKCON. You don't need to go anywhere else. This is called wanderlust. We call it wanderlust. Going here and there, trying to find this information, that information. That's all it is. Just stay. Chastity is actually a virtue. If a wife is chaste to her husband, she has great powers, and she can also do wonderful things. But if a wife is jumping around from husband to other men, she's useless and she's seen as a prostitute. So when we're jumping around from Prabhupada this, we're like prostitutes. So
Marge is
anyway,
sorry.
we just finished a 3-day seminar just 2 days ago on the importance of Srila Prabhupada's books. And it was really well received. Really well received. You can see what is in those books, and at the same time, you can understand what is the result of reading and studying Prabhupada's books and practicing it within the society that Prabhupada created. There's so much benefit that we're not even aware of.
Marge, when you were mentioning Bhakti Swami, I was remembering a statement that he made back in 2019 when I was attending also 2018 something, when I was attending the GBC College training in New Vrindavan. And he had the same concern, Marge, that you mentioned, that devotees are not reading Prabhupada's books. They are not following Prabhupada's words, like a lot of khichdi, like you mentioned last week, spiritual khichdi, in your class. And Bhakti Swami said that if this continues, where Srila Prabhupada's words and instructions and lectures or, everything of Prabhupada, it's not being followed and heard, and I remember his statement very clearly. He said by the 4th generation, Prabhupada's murti will be removed from all temples in ISKCON.
Wow,
Yeah, very heavy. March, when he said that, my heart just went boom, because I remember he had a PowerPoint and he showed 4 pictures of Srila Prabhupada. One was very clear, then the less clear, then less clear, and then the last was like hardly visible. And that one he was depicting the 4th generation that Prabhupada won't even be there. So he said that's why it's so important that we really encourage and preach Prabhupada and have devotees read properly Lamrita. Like he was really pushing for that, Maharaj.
Yeah, read Lamrita, you understand the personality of Prabhupada along with what the position of a spiritual master. Because when you understand the personality, it's easier to understand why he's saying what he's saying and how he means what he says. So that's interesting because my seminar was based on 4 generations. As time goes on,
Interesting.
the information starts to fade from generation
Yep.
to generation.
I would like to interject at this point, Guru Maharaj, and tell Anasuya that we have just started a reading group and we have begun with Srila Prabhupada's Lilamrita.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to hear that. Oh, Krishna, I'm so happy to hear that.
Yes, and you're welcome to ask your group to join us if they would like to. 8 to 8:30 evening India time.
Okay, because I put fire. I shouldn't use that word. I have to watch because this is live stream. But I actually push.
Fire.
I'm sorry, Marge. Please forgive me. But I actually really push my congregation here to read properly Lamrita because I tell them that if you don't read, no initiation. I'm so strict.
Yeah, very good.
Because I remember your god sister, I think her name is Jyotirmayi Mataji. She's French speaking, French accent.
Yeah, that's Jyotirmai. There is one like that. Yeah.
Yes, and she mentioned in one of Prabhupada Memories March that I watched last year, where she said, if you want to know a person, a great person, you do two things. You read about his life and you read the books he has written. She made that statement very powerfully in that memory that I remembered.
You read about his life and you read about the books he wrote.
Yes, that's what she said, Maharaj.
Good, yeah.
It's so important. Thank you.
You started a reading group too, also on Lilamrita.
Yes, March. I push my devotees here. I mean, I was sharing that list with Srimati. We had a talk last week, but I really encourage properly Lamrita a lot. Yeah.
So, yeah, I've read it twice.
Yes, it's so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
so beautiful.
And there's so many books that have been written by Prabhupada's disciples about Prabhupada in different venues around the world. Which you can add that as Lilamrita also.
Yes, Marge. In fact, Marge, if you remember Jit Mitra in my temple, the short little Bengali devotee, he loves Prabhupada so much. He listens to Prabhupada memories every day.
Hey.
Every day. He really loves it. And he preaches about Prabhupada like anything. That's one thing. One thing we have started doing here, Maharaj, is once a month. Jit Mitra Govinda Das, do you remember him, Maharaj? Not that the tall one, the short one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so once a month we have Prabhupada festival where we
Right.
read Prabhupada class where we have a Sunday class just on Prabhupada once a month. Any other questions from devotees? Please do jump
Okay,
right in. I'm sorry, March. I missed your sentence.
I'm just going to say it looks like the connection is getting a little weak again.
Yes, March, it's getting weaker. So I was going to ask you, March, if it's okay that we end with chanting or wrap it up because I don't want to lose the connection again, or if you would like to go on, March.
I don't see any more questions. Oh, we had a question from Krishna Kaviraj. Didn't he have a question?
Yeah, oh yes, Christian Coach, did you have a question, Prabhu? We missed your question. I'm sorry.
No, I did not have any questions.
Oh,
We put you in the spot.
Mhm.
All right, we can do a round of japa. Actually, I have a program coming up in 45 minutes. So yeah.
We can do a round and wrap it up, March?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you guys bring your beads? If you didn't bring your beads, did you bring your hands? Don't leave your hands anywhere. You might need them.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Saludos to Prabhupada. Yesterday, December 1st, on the auspicious occasion of Ekadasi, we also started for the time zone of US, Eastern and Central. We also started Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita reading group, which is Ananta Sesh Nagaprabhu, Suma Mataji, and Kiranasa Prabhu. The three are taking care of that call. And it's like 8 p.m. Central Time and 9 p.m. Eastern Time for half an hour daily, Monday to Thursday.
Nice, very nice. The devotees, Rasa Vilasini, Radha, and your group in Farmington Hills, you should get one going also. Devotees in Indore, we have Manisi, we have Shakshi. Get a group going there. Anyone can start a group, and if you can start up with
Right
few
now, we
people.
combined Central and Eastern time zone. Yesterday, 11 devotees joined. So we are looking forward to more devotees join.
Okay, let's do one round and then
Beneficial. He used to ask devotees to write that one more vow that they should not leave scorn.
yeah. Brajeshwari is saying that Bhakti Churu Swami added another vow to the initiation vows that devotees agree never to leave ISKCON.
Haribol, leaving ISKCON is leaving Prabhupada. ISKCON is Prabhupada's body, right, Marge? We've heard that so many times.
Yeah, there's no place to go.
There's no place to go, but just hell.
Okay. ISKCON is one of the branches of Lord Chaitanya's tree. It's mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is Lord Chaitanya's mission extended. We are that part of that mission. Okay, so Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Hare Ram Hare.
Okay, Hare Krishna devotees. It looks like Maharaj has ended the class. So I'm trying to see. I have my other glasses on, so I don't see very well. Thank you all so much for joining us, and hope all of you really benefited from this amazing class. And we hope that you all had a wonderful Gita Jayanti, and we continue as we approach the end of the year to develop whatever devotional qualities that we really need to develop as an offering to our spiritual masters for the coming year. Until then, we thank you all so much for joining us. Vanchakaptibhyascha, Kripasandabevacha, Patitanam Bhavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His Holiness Candramauli Swami ki jai. Hari Hari Bol. Hare
Thank you.
Krishna. Have a
Thank you,
wonderful
Mataji.
day.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you.
Krishna very much.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.